Okay, we're gonna start all over again. Hello, how you doing, England? Glad to see you. We'll do a thing called freedom.
What's happening in the world? Today's April 25th, 2022. My name is Reagan the Doom Wizard, and here are your past week's headlines. Drinking some Celsius tropical vibe because tropical is where it's at. This is number 53, and if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and hit the upvote, reminding you early, and we'll get on with the show. We began with the week with Russia going all in on invasion of Ukraine, gearing up for an attack on the eastern and southern flank. And there's another coronavirus wave in Philadelphia. But no mask mandate for travelers, although the Justice Department and the CDC are trying to overturn it. There was an Easter egg roll in the White House lawn with Jimmy Fallon and some other celebrities. Jill Biden's theme was education. No more bunny business. Ha ha. The Boston Marathon kicked off with 30,000 participants, and 1,000 tons of diesel oil sank in the Mediterranean. This optical illusion apparently reveals if you have a female or male brain. Apparently, if it's running towards you, you're a dude? I don't know. CO2 pipelines are in the works, but a pipeline safety expert says we're not ready. Companies want to build pipelines to capture and store carbon, but a new report warns that regulators aren't prepared. So basically, we're just going to keep shooting shit in the air and then try to vacuum it out and pipe it somewhere to store it underground. What could go wrong? Northern Arizona may see drinking water cut off as Lake Powell continues to dry up, and Germany is going to boycott Russian oil and gas. Shanghai reported their first deaths from COVID, but we all know that's bullshit. A powerful winter storm in New York City and Pennsylvania, 250,000 without power. A jump in home builds last month, more multifamily projects. $31 million for 15 restoration projects for U.S. Forest Service in 8 states, millions of acres. The worst ever virus outbreak in Shanghai, people are getting arrested in their homes. And the Antarctic sea ice experiences a record low extent for the second time in 5 years. North Korea celebrates 10 years of Kim Jong-un's rule, and venomous blue dragons are washing ashore on Texas coast. Are these the end times or what? A UFO sighting in Bakersfield 2 weeks ago. Thing going across, what is that? What is it? Millions of dollars are going out to pay for student loans. 40,000 straight up get debt cancellation. And millions are closer to paying off their college debt. Finally, under enough pressure and a report from NPR apparently. IMF says the global economy will only make 3.6% gain. Travel stocks are up, but Netflix stock is down. They lost a whole ton of subscribers, and they're going to cut animation. Not that we cared anyways. Moderna is offering an updated COVID boosters this fall, and a new study published Wednesday in Nature Communication finds that geoengineering the planet runs the risk of allowing the parasitic disease malaria to run rampant. A hottest month in 122 years in India damages wheat crops, and climate change and farming have caused insect numbers to plunge by half. Ukraine gets 18 howitzers from the US, 150 millimeter artillery guns. Shit is getting lit. US and Cuba are holding high-level talks for migration. A major wildfire in northern Arizona called the Tunnel Fire, which spread into multiple fires across half the state's counties. A state of emergency all over there. People evacuated. I was almost going to move to Taos, actually. Flagstaff, that's where I was going to move. No mask requirements for Uber and Lyft drivers and passengers now. This Chihuahua made it to 21, the oldest dog alive. The dog was originally found in a cardboard box with a litter. His name is Toby Keith. Moscow tests launch an ICBM that can apparently evade defenses. Though, if there's one thing that we learned about Russia thus far in their aggression, is that although they do have the military equipment, it's often broken and janky and not necessarily well-trained operatives on the equipment. Western leaders walk out as Russian officials address the G20, and NASA beamed a doctor to the ISS in a world-first holoportation achievement. Cheers to sci-fi. conditions in a Mississippi state prison is horrible and goes against the Constitution. Israeli hits targets in Gaza with rockets, and an entire family of 4 and their dog were found dead from a murder-suicide. Their 29-year-old nephew in Duluth shook up the whole neighborhood. This week was full of insane crimes, box trucks getting slammed into on the highways, wrecks, police chases. I could do a whole nother episode on this, okay? Like an hour going through all the crazy shit that happened this past week. Much like the violent week we experienced the week prior, maybe it was because of spring break and everyone's out, or just cooped up inside and stressed out from barely making rent. Who knows? Either way, this is what's happening in the world, so we gotta cover it. And a 44-year-old handyman stabs a queen's mother more than 55 times, then stuffs her in her son's hockey bag while her son was upstairs and left the bag on the side of the road. More than 55 times? I'm just trying to imagine that. I can barely count to 55, okay? Another guy was shot and killed practicing his dance moves in Long Beach, California. Really? The dancing guy? You gotta shoot him? He's the best dude. A Florida Disney battle could cost taxpayers $1 billion, and Putin declares victory in Mariupol. We're going to give $500,000 more to Ukraine, actually $800 million in military aid. And Honduras ex-president was convicted of drug smuggling. Elon Musk is going to straight up buy Twitter with like $30 or $40 billion or something like that. And engineers at MIT and the National Renewable Energy Laboratory have designed a heat engine with no moving parts. Their new demonstration shows that it converts heat to electricity with over 40% efficiency, a performance better than that of traditional steam turbines. The heat engine is a thermo-photovoltaic cell similar to solar panels' photovoltaic cells that passively captures high-energy photons from a white hot heat source and converts them into electricity. Also, news of the week. Okay, this had me stunned a little bit, but scientists in China find no benefit to time-restrictive eating. Damn. I've been doing this for years, thinking I was actually like managing my weight or something, but it kind of makes sense. Your body isn't going to process something until it absolutely needs to. It's constantly trying to achieve homeostasis. I'm aware. In a year-long study, participants, in compared to a control group who were confined to meals at certain hours, lost no more weight than those who ate at any time. So stuff your face, mate. Just put it in your gob and just keep eating whenever you want. Who cares? Fighting has picked up again in eastern Ukraine, and a teacher in Texas was fired for having LGBTQ-related stickers. I think she put some, like, rainbow stickers on her car or something? Jeez. Only in Texas. Twitter bans misleading information about climate change. Not sure how. And New Jersey is spending $21 million on projects to fight climate change. Because we're gonna fight nature. Even though we've been fighting nature this whole time. Biden signs executive orders to strengthen forests on Earth Day. We're gonna plant 1.2 billion trees. And somehow they're going to miraculously grow and sequester carbon in the next 2 decades.
Meat sauce.
Climate change is also spreading a debilitating fungal disease throughout the West called valley fever, contracted by inhaling the cocky fungus that flourishes in southwestern soils, is spiking on its home turf and migrating to new territories. You can't even see it. Next thing you know, you're nauseous and sick for weeks, potentially months. And on Saturday, protesters amassed at the White House demanding action on climate change. In Washington, D.C., as well as Phoenix, Atlanta, and scores of other cities across the country, demonstrators called on the government to enact bold climate action. Also on Earth Day, Governor Gavin Newfuck joined in the groundbreaking of the world's largest wildlife overpass, the Wallace-Annenberg Wildlife Crossing, which will provide a vital bridge for mountain lions and other Santa Monica mountain wildlife to roam safely between 2 areas of habitat. A tour boat went missing and Japan confirmed a whole bunch of people died off the coast. And then finally, an all-private crew on the ISS is coming back on the SpaceX capsule. It was supposed to be just 8 days, but they got close to 2 weeks. Well, folks, this has been your What's Happening in the World update, April 25th. I'm finally reading this from my laptop. Just had to go one step further and copy everything from my phone to another device here so I don't have to constantly be going back and forth and cutting this up. I don't know why I didn't think to do this in the beginning, but you know, you live and you learn. I always make things harder on myself. I don't know what's the deal. It's like I like the challenge, subconsciously. Whatever the case. Thanks for watching. Hit like and subscribe. If you enjoyed this program, please go down to my PayPal and Patreon link below. Consider donating to make this program possible, and I will keep doing it for as long as I live, because I know some of you only care about Doomer news. Cheers, and enjoy the rest of your week. I might make a few videos. You know the deal. You gotta publish every day to keep YouTube happy. Ciao.